What are the skills needed to be a great salesman? This was one of the questions asked in the group. I do sales for some of my clients. I do copywriting for some of my clients, and copywriting is essentially sales. So this one of my students, he asked, Jen bhai, how do I become good at selling? Now, again, this is one of those questions that get me thinking. You can give a random answer, do this, do that, be good at closing. There are these techniques, but well, when you think about them, you come across with pretty interesting thought process, and I'll be sharing that thought process with you today. And in this entire video, we'll learn what exactly is the skill that is so important. What is that one skill that is so important in order to be a good salesman? So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, I'll give you the answer right away. It's empathy. So I was talking to my teacher, Mr. Vijay Kumar. He is an excellent copywriter here at Learn Today, and we were talking, like three of us, me, Divya, Kamna, and the team member, everyone. We were asking, like, what should we do to motivate people to buy from us? And his response was, put your greed aside. I was like, what? We're salesmen. It's okay to be greedy, but to sell, apparently, you have to keep your greed aside. And I did not believe in this until, I actually applied this in practice. Till that moment, in my mind, I was like, I have to make a sale no matter what. But after he realized that you need to understand your customer's problem first before even thinking to recommend them the product. And this thoughts, it literally sparked fire in my head. And I started listening to all sorts of podcasts, reading books. In fact, I was reading this book called Sell Like Crazy. Again, my favorite book when it comes to copywriting and sales. Not copywriting, sales part and business part. He mentions something like, sell like a doctor. Just like in medical profession, if you recommend somebody a medicine before diagnosis, that's considered malpractice. You'll be jailed. Similarly, when you are a salesman and you recommend somebody a product before even understanding their problem, you should be jailed. As it should also be considered malpractice. And it made sense when I actually went on a sales call. Early on, when I was starting to sell a year ago, it was like this. The sales calls went like this. I would jump in a sales call and I start rambling about the features and stuff, and they just did not work. But now the methods have changed. I have also been reading this book, Spin Selling by Neil Rackham, and this guy also has a very, very similar process when it comes to selling. So both of them recommend that you first understand the problem of your prospect, if and only if it makes sense for them to buy your product with the price that you are selling, then you go ahead and pitch. So if a sales call goes for 1 hour, for 40 to 50 minutes, you just need to qualify your person. And this concept, it applies throughout the board. It applies in copywriting, it applies in one-on-one sales call, it applies in webinar sales and any kind of sales that you see. You first need to understand your prospects. You first need to see and visualize their problem, the situation that they are going through, and if placing your product to help them solve their problem quicker or easily or with more comfort, then and with less effort, then you recommend them the product. And that would actually make sense for them to buy. Let me give you an example. So there was this sales call that I was in, and the guy converted, and this is how the sales call went. He is an entrepreneur and he wants to start his e-commerce business, but he has been listening to a lot of stories on YouTube that this is not working, that is not working, and a lot of scams going on, and dropshipping. Facebook does not favor because he wanted to start with dropshipping. So this guy had so many questions around it. What should we do? Now I have the clarity to that. I know how it works. I know how to get the Facebook account unbanned or remove the ban, or I know how to help him write good copies. So I know that I can save at least 1 year of his life that he would have rather spent on learning e-commerce than starting his e-commerce business. When I started continuing, like why he wanted to do this and what is his budget, what are his expectations, and how far does he want to go. So when I started exploring and probing all of these things, I came to realize that this is his problem. And literally this sales call went up to 1.5 hours, and up until 1 hour 15th minute I was just trying to understand his problem. In the last 15 minutes I realized, hey, I can actually help this guy out. I know my stuff. I can give him some templates that he can use. I can give him some tricks and tips that he can use. I can give him a good design that he can use. And I can show him the way through which he can actually build a good business. So when I understood all of that throughout the sales call, in the end, I just recommended the product. I did not even have to sell. I just simply recommended. I was like, hey, you know what? There is this mastermind that we have. And in here we have mastermind. It's a mastermind of entrepreneurs, and here we help entrepreneurs out with all this stuff. We have systems and processes, we have templates and swipes, everything in place. So you can just come in and plug and play, and you'll start seeing some result. And trust me, I did not even have to sell the guy. He was sold. He said, when do we start? And he joined. And that was so powerful that that just changed my perspective on selling in every way. Till this point I was thinking sales is something that you sell. I mean, you have a product and your responsibility is selling, but that's not the part. When you are a salesman, your responsibility is not to sell. The focus it is to sell, but the focus should not be on selling. The focus should be in the customer's problem. So here, what is the skill that you need? Questioning, sure, but what is the core skill through which the questioning came up? It's empathy. When you show empathy to your prospects' problems, you understand what they need. And through this process, you actually understand whether your product is a good fit for them or not. When you realize that your product is a very good fit for them, definitely recommend them. If you realize that they can do well by themselves without your product, you simply say no. What is the problem? Anyways, you lose calls. In this, if you do this, if you actually reject a client, you at least build a trust. Now the client or the prospect knows that, okay, in your heart and in your mind, you are not just trying to sell them anything. You're trying to help them. That is the only skill. Empathy is the only skill you need to sell really, really well. So I hope you got some value. If you are a salesman, if you are a salesperson, copywriter, or any field, basically every entrepreneur can get some idea out of it. If you got some value out of it, do comment value. And if you are an e-commerce guy, I have this challenge going on where I spend only 15,000 rupees on an e-commerce store and scale it to more than 15,000 rupees so that I can show some profits there. In that case, do join the WhatsApp group that I have. I have added the link in the description. If you want to join my e-commerce training, I have added the link to that in the pinned comment as well. I hope it helps, and I hope it helps you sell well. I hope it gives you enough perspective to change your sales pitch if it is not good enough so far. Or if you have any tips around this, selling, consultative selling, do let me know in the comment and we can definitely talk. All right. Thank you very much, and hope you have a good day.